This is the walkthrough video for PCTC 2021, round 2, question 4, upgraded chat machine. So in this case, the user is going to input a load of sentences, and we basically have to output one of 3 different responses depending on what the input sentence is and by following these rules. Now in this question, we don't actually know how many inputs we're going to receive. So we just have to keep receiving inputs in an infinite while loop until we know the conversation is ended and therefore there are no more inputs. And the conversation ends when our final input, or when we get an input that says goodbye. And that's when we can end our while loop. And so let's actually code that first. So our while loop is going to be infinite, so let's do while 1. And of course, every time we run the loop, we want to input a sentence. So let's input a sentence. And as we said, if sentence is equal to goodbye, then we know we want to break out of this while loop. But before we break out of the loop, we need to make sure that we print off see you, because that's what the question says. Okay, and if sentence is not equal to goodbye, then we need to do a few other things. So what if the sentence ends with a question mark or starts off with one of these 6 words? Then we have to print off not sure really. So the question mark is the easy bit, because we can just do if sentence -1, which is the last character of our input, if that is equal to a question mark, then we can just print not sure really, like that. But now the hard bit is to check what the first word of our sentence is. So to extract the first word, we can basically split sentence up by every space using the .split command. And so this splits sentence up into a list of words where each word is determined by whether there's a space between that word and another word. And therefore the first word is just going to be the 0th index of that list. And so then we can also check if first word is equal to any of these 6 words. However, instead of having to just write elif first word equal to this, or equal to this, or equal to this, and so on 6 times, we can in fact just be much more efficient and do something like that. And of course, we have to have quote marks around all of these. And so we're going to say if first word is in this collection of 6 words, then we want to print off not sure really again. And if none of this is true, then we just want to print off but why. There are loads of different ways of architecting this particular solution, and most of them will work, but some of them won't. And so if you can't manage to get 10 out of 10, be careful and check the order in which you do your operations, because that is probably the reason that you're not managing to score all of the points.